Hello everybody, this is Jason. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you are new here, welcome. I post contents related with WebRTC, JavaScript and Golang. If this interests you, please hit that subscribe button and stay updated. Welcome back everyone. Sorry about that, I've just been really flat out lately, so I haven't been doing much videos for this channel. Okay, this channel is not dead, okay, that's one thing I can assure everybody. And I haven't forgotten, you know, the Flutter P2P tutorial we were going on about a few months back. Okay, I'm still finishing the code off for that. I will finish that tutorial pretty soon. Okay, before we sort of get into that, I've been playing with gstreamer lately, and it seems to me, you know, it's we need some sort of like an entry level type of tutorials, because I don't see any of those at all, like anywhere. So I'm probably going to slide this in, you know, before the Flutter stuff. So we'll probably do like a mini series, probably, I don't know, about 3 parts in total, or yeah, it's probably not going to be more than 3 parts. I think it's just 3 videos. Okay, so the first part is, you know, we're going to build the foundation. Okay, we'll be using we're not going to do any Rust right now. Okay, we'll be using building the Nginx rtmp Docker. Okay, and then we will do some tests. Okay, we can stream stuff like an image or something, or video from OBS, and then we can access it on a web page. Okay, so we'll be using Node.js for a little authorization. Okay, so we keep our stuff protected, and also we're going to do Docker. Okay, and we will use OBS as well. Alright, enough talking here. Okay, let's get our foundation started. Okay, I'll just get into my YouTube folder. Okay, and then okay, I think we'll make a new directory for this. We'll just call it rtmp. Okay, rtmp. Okay, and we will open this in Visual Studio Code. Let's do everything in there. Okay, let's create the folder structures to start off. Okay, we will need a folder for our auth project. Okay, this will be in charge of doing like a streaming key type of thing. Like we authorize it, make sure, you know, the right person, you know, can actually broadcast onto our server. Okay, we create a data folder as well. This is where the what do you call it, the Nginx rtmp will put its lists into. Okay, we'll get to that in a sec. Okay, you all know what it is, but we'll just create these folders first, and then we will create a folder called rtmp. Let's call it live stream, dash stream. Okay, that's where the main thing is. Okay, let's start building this thing. Okay, we'll go by order. Okay, we'll start with auth. Okay, well, let's write a little Node.js auth server. Okay, we'll call it. Okay, let's cd into the folder first. Okay, and the first thing is let's init a new project, npm project, or if you use yarn, you can use yarn. Okay, it's the same thing. All right, that is done, and we need to install a couple of things. Okay, Express and Nomon. Okay, the reason why we want Nomon is we want to see the log, just to make sure, you know, the stuff we write, it actually works. Okay, but in production you won't need that. Okay, and then we just write a server.js file. Okay, that's where we're going to house all our logic, you know, for every time you do a stream to the rtmp server. Okay, we use this as like you can call it as a middleware, but it's not really a middleware, it's an auth server. Okay, easy stuff. Okay, we're just going to go const express equals require. Okay, we are writing old style JavaScript. Okay, because we don't want to, you know, stuff around setting all the other stuff up. Okay, we'll just use this. Okay, express the normal things as you do. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is add use. Okay, we're going to bring in the URL encoded, okay, function. Oh, this is a middleware, so yeah. And then extend it, put that as true, okay. That's cool. And then we're going to start making our only endpoint. We'll call this auth, okay. Function, spell it wrong. Function, our normal express stuff, you know, I think most of you know all this. Okay, so the first thing we'll call is a stream key, okay. That's what we're going to pass in, and that's where we're going to do the auth here, okay. We're going to request from the body key, okay. We'll make sure we remember this, okay. It's key. We're going to go in. Okay, this is the real basic auth we're going to do, okay. If stream key, we're going to statically type in a password, okay, but you can have this stuff in the database if you decide to use this method to do like a real simple live stream server, okay, of your own. Okay, what we basically do is if the stream key is same as password, okay, what we're going to do is we're just going to return a status 200, okay, telling whoever's asking for this is authorized, okay. That's what we are doing. Real simple. Okay, and then we're going to return this. Okay, what if it doesn't auth? Okay, we're just going to res dot status or fire back a 403. Okay. Alright, that's pretty much it. Okay, and we just need to start up the server here. We'll use I don't know, 7,000. Let's use 8,000. Okay, as a port function, and we're just gonna console log this, to say the server is up and running. This thing on port 8000. All right, that is it. That's our little auth server. Okay, you can, it's your choice. You can write it in whatever you like. Write it in Rust, write it in Go, up to you. Okay, and you can do all sorts of fancy authorization here, like connect it to a database. Then whenever someone sends in their stream key, okay, you go and check your database. Okay, if it matches, you just give them a 200, and the Nginx server will be authorized, and then able the person to do the publish. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, data, we don't need to do anything, okay, because that is basically a folder we can keep an eye on, okay, when you do the stream. We will see that, okay, you will see a whole heap of files coming up here once we start the rtmp server. All right, okay, the next thing is we're going to make a Nginx config file, okay. For those who's used Nginx before, you're probably quite familiar with this, but the difference is we are setting up this purely for our rtmp and also our our auth service, and we need to host a little HTML page for the video player. Okay, I'll just give you a reference. Okay, where do you look up all this? Okay, all you need to do is Google it. Okay, Nginx rtmp. Okay, this is the official site. Okay, and let's go on the let's go to the repo. Okay, it's got some like documentation down here. All right, this is the part we need. Okay, but there's a lot of configurations. Okay, I've picked out a few that is relevant for us, and feel free to look through this, okay, because this will help you knowing what is capable of doing and what you can do and so on. Okay, so we won't even bother, well, not for this video purpose anyway, but this is where you look, okay, if you want to, like, I don't know, extend this or something. Okay, so let's go through this. Okay, we're just going to put an empty object on the events. Okay, and then we're going to start rtmp server. Okay, I'm going to turn this thing off. I don't know why it keep on coming back on there, because it's nice, you know, the what do you call it, the GitHub Copilot. It's nice, but it's quite annoying sometimes, you know, they're giving you the wrong code and stuff. Okay, we'll turn that off. Okay, here's our configuration for our server. Okay, the first thing is listen port. Did I spell that right? Yep. Listen, we'll use the default. Okay, it's 1935. You can see that here. Where is it? Okay, right here. Okay, we're gonna just use the default one. Okay. And the next thing, application live. Okay, this is our configuration for this whole thing. Okay, everything goes in here. Okay, live on. Don't forget the close off the semicolons. Okay, and HLS on. Okay, because HLS is the magic that makes the browser able to play. Okay, we're going to use the hls.js package to play the video. I'll show you in a sec. Okay, and in the HLS path, okay, this is where the temp, because HLS will, like, by default it will create a whole heap of little files and bits. Okay, and then when you stream, you're actually going through those small files to play the video. Okay, so this is like a temp file for it. We'll call it HLS. Okay, the next thing is HLS fragment. I think we need that. Let's check the documentation. HLS. Okay, they don't even show it here, but okay, but this is a configuration. Fragment, and the default is 5 seconds. We'll just keep with the default. Okay, it's not. You can customize it later. And then the HLS playlist length. Okay. And we'll use the default as 30 seconds. Okay. I think all this will affect, you know, the, I don't know, affects your quality and your what do you call it, like how much it caches your video. I might be wrong here because I'm quite new on this stuff, but that's what my understanding is. Okay, the next thing is we're going to do publish. On publish, okay, this is where the authorization happens. Okay, so in our case, what did we call? Okay, we'll call this auth server. Okay, and the port. I'll tell you the reason why we're not putting localhost or whatever, because the containers need to communicate with each other, so we have to define this for Docker to be able to work. Otherwise, if we put localhost or something, and these are well, it won't work between containers. Okay, and remember that endpoint we did here. Okay, auth in our server.js right here, auth. Okay, that's what that is. Okay, auth, and I'll finish it up here. Right, cool. That's all we're going to config. As I said, you know, if you want to go a little bit further of like understanding what's going on with this, go and check their documentation. It's got really good stuff there. Look, right here, there's quite a lot, you know, you can configure on your server. There's a whole heap of stuff, but we only, you know, for our purpose, we're not going to go too deep on that. Okay. The next thing, okay, we're going to do set up our HTTP server. Okay, this bit is everyone should be familiar with, I think, who's ever used Nginx for your HTML serving. Okay, listen, we'll use 8080 this time for it. And in location, the root. Okay, and we'll call this root www. Okay. Okay, the next one we're going to have to configure is our HLS location. Okay, location. HLS. Okay, and in here we have to put some types to accept. Okay, this is from the documentation as well. Okay, feel free to go and check those out. Okay, I might copy and paste this because I don't want a typo, because if there's a typo, it's just not going to work. Okay, so this is like the tag, what do you call it, the header we're putting in there. Okay, and then the temp file. Okay, and we're going to add a couple of headers. Okay, for this, sorry, this is types that this URL accepts. Okay, and this is the header. Okay, we want cache, control. Okay, no cache, because we don't want cache. Okay, otherwise your thing will come, your video will be unsynced. Okay, and then we will add a famous cross issue. Okay, if we don't put this on, the chances you won't be able to hit this. It will say cross issues. Okay, which is a common problem. I'm sure most of you already experienced that. Okay, and origin, we'll just make it anything. Okay, but of course you can control this when you actually, you know, putting it on production. Okay, like if you know who's going to hit it, then you put your domain there. Okay, the trusted domain. Alright, that's pretty much it, and let's start building the Docker files. Okay, let's do that in author. Let's do this one first. Docker file. Okay, we will be using the official Node.js images, and I need to Google those. Okay, which is the best to use. Let's have a look. Docker Node.js. Okay, let's have a look at the tags. What we should use. Oh, there's a lot of them. I think we can just go latest. I think then we just use the latest. Yeah, why don't we do that? Okay. Okay, what we do from base image would be node latest. Okay, we'll use the latest node. Work DRR, working directory. Okay, and we'll go user app. Okay, nah, we'll just use app. Let's not copy. We want to copy the package.json. Okay, so we know what to copy. Okay, let's put a wildcard there, and we want to put that on the root of our container. Okay, and then we want to run, we want to copy another thing as well, which is our server.js. Okay, server.js. Sorry, take that caps lock off, and we want to put that in the root of the working directory. And then finally we're going to run npm install. Okay, and to kick it off on the container, we're going to cmd, okay, npm start. I think that's it. Alright, this image is built. Okay, so we basically working directory and within the container, we'll just call it app. Okay, and then copy these files into the container, and also the server.js, and then we run npm install. And when it's all finished, it will do what do you call it, npm start. Okay, oh, that reminds me, we haven't wrote the start script here yet. Okay, let's do that. Okay, real easy. Start, just go node mon server.js. That's it. Okay, so go back to here. As soon as it's all done, it will go npm start, and which will spin up this script here. Okay, all done here, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our Nginx container. and also the what do you call it, a HTML file. Okay, why don't we just do the HTML file first? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to grab that online. Okay, let's go to Google. This is called hls.js. okay, go into the repo. You can go all fancy on this. Okay, you can actually do a full on like a JS front end for it, but for our purpose we're not even going to do that. Okay, what we're going to do is grab the basic example. I think it's in demo. Where is it? I think it's this. Hold on, I just want to confirm if it is this. Okay, actually I have one on my computer. Use my one. This look a little bit complicated. We don't need all this, I don't think. Yeah, this needs for npm install. I'm pretty sure they had a like a real simple usage. Oh, there we go. That's the one we need. Okay, we'll just copy and paste this. Okay, let's use my one because mine's using a CDN version of the HLS.js, and this one, like, you have to download it, so let's not do that. Okay, let's go back to VS Code. We'll go in here and we'll create a HTML file, index HTML. We'll just paste this stuff in. Okay, this is basically what the example is, but the difference is I made changes here. Okay, I use the CDN, and this I change it to my name. Okay, Jason, and I'll tell you how we can get that in there later. Okay, I will show you, otherwise it won't work. Okay. Alright, that is it. So we will create a Docker here. Docker file. Why is it red? Okay, never mind. Okay, this is simple as. Okay, we want the a Docker image someone already made. Okay, from here. You can check them out. Okay, these are GitHub repo for this. You can see exactly what's inside. Okay, and the second thing we need to do is we need to copy our Nginx config into the container. Okay, and we want that to be an etc, and that's the location of this image. Okay, it's not a random thing I just thought of. Okay. Those of you know Nginx, okay, that's the location where Nginx locates. Okay, so basically we're telling Docker to put this thing inside the container in this path. Okay, and then we need to copy the HTML file as well. Index.html, and we want that into the www file. Okay, where do we get this? Okay, we already defined it in here, I think. Hold on, where did we define it? Oh, we defined it here, right here. That's where we got that from. Okay. So yeah, this is done. Okay, the last thing we need to do is wire all these two Docker images together. Okay, in a Docker compose file, which we have to build now. Okay. So we just go docker compose.yaml. Okay, now we start to make this thing happen. Okay, version, we use 3.9, and services. Okay, the first one is rtmp. Be careful on these spacings, alright, because YAML, it does make a difference. If you don't put in the right spacing, it won't work. In my case, it will be red, I think. Oh no, it doesn't. But anyway, it doesn't work. Okay, you have to put it like that. And then build. We want to build, the first thing we want to build is the live stream. folder, which is this folder. Okay, basically we're telling them to build this Docker file. Okay, that's what that is. Okay, and the ports we want to expose is the first one is 1935. Okay, column 1935. Okay, the second one we want to expose, have a guess, it's 8080. Okay, and then see, remember the stuff. Okay, the container name, we have to name this container underscore name. What should we call this? Live server, eh? Sounds good. And then the volume. Okay, this volume thing, it tells where to house the data locally. Okay, that's what this data folder is. Okay, so dash data column temp HLS. Okay, remember this path, we tell Nginx to put it here, so we have to define this. Okay, where do we define this? Somewhere right here. Remember this? So basically what we're doing in this is we're telling them house all of this in this folder of this directory. Okay, you probably know already, but I just feel like I want to clear it out just for someone who might not know about this. Okay, the last thing we need to do is the auth service. Okay, auth build. Where do we build this? In the auth folder. Okay, which is this thing here. Okay, and just give it a container name. We don't need to expose the ports because we don't access the the auth service ourselves. It's only for Nginx. That's why we don't need to put ports here. Okay, if you're wondering. Okay, the container name, what do we call this? Yeah, auth server. All right, we're ready to go. It's time for some testing here. Okay, we'll go back to root. Okay, what we need to do, firstly, we're going to go docker compose build. Okay, make sure we build the thing. Oh, what's wrong? Oh, sorry. It might help if I start up Docker, eh? Sorry about that. Okay, we'll wait for the little penguin to finish. Okay, let's do that. Docker compose build. Okay, this will build our image. It's pulling the Nginx stuff and the Node.js container as well in a sec. Yeah, the reason, while we're waiting, we can, have some side talk about, why we use Rust, because you can call gstreamer from Python or Golang. Okay, they're both doable. Okay, the reason is because Rust is like a really low cost because it actually grabs the C library directly, and there's no cost. If you do it with Go, there's some sort of cost because it uses CGo. Okay, that's the whole reason. And nowadays a lot of plugins of gstreamer are actually written in Rust, so Rust would be probably the best option, apart from, if you like, you can use C language or C++ itself to do this, but in my opinion, Rust is probably a lot easier language to get your hands on, then try to learn C or C++. Okay, sorry, I just realized I used the Node latest and the image is like almost a gig, so I changed it to slim. Okay, that's what you should use as well. Change that to slim and it finish like way quicker. Okay, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go docker. Okay, let's clear this screen first. Okay, go docker compose up. Okay, that will start running. Okay, let's double check. Oh, okay, let's check this. Listen is not terminate, but okay, there's an error on the configuration. Okay, so what we need to do, I think it's a typo. Let's go here. Line 6, I think it is. No. Okay, let me have a look. Listen. Ah, I forgot that. Okay, make sure you put the the columns on the end. Okay, otherwise it's gonna break. Okay, let's do this again. Let's build it again because these are changes. Okay, done. So now Docker Compose up. Just make sure it works. Okay, let's double check. Unknown length. Oh, here's another one. Line 11. Line 11. What's wrong with this? Line 11. It's probably a typo. Nope. $30 seconds. Unknown directive. Okay, we'll make it 1 minute. See if that goes. Docker Compose build. Docker Compose up. Let's see that. Okay, looks happy this time. Oh no, there we go. Line 11. Line 11. Fragment, 10 seconds. Ah, I see. Sorry. Not looking. Okay, we'll change it back to 30 seconds, okay? We don't need this semicolon, okay? Okay, let's do this again. I did that on purpose, believe it or not. This type of stuff happens, you know. Okay. Docker up. This time we should be all good. Yep. No errors. Okay. So now, basically what we have done is the Docker is up. Okay. The rtmp thing is up. Okay. All right. Now we open OBS. We can broadcast to it and check it out. Okay. I've set my video source as image. Okay. But you can actually do your webcam if you like. Okay, now we go to settings, stream, okay, and that is the URL, okay. And remember, let me go back to here. Remember this HTML file. We put this JSON.m3u8, okay. That is how we define it in OBS, okay. This JSON, which represent the list of the actual M3U8. You'll see that once we get this running, okay? Now, and remember the static password we put in is password, okay? So key equals password, okay? That's how that auth thing works, okay? Now, we just go start streaming, okay? Green, that means it's streaming, okay? It's done. And in here, look at that. We've got the file. Last thing we need to try is see our thing actually works, okay? 8080, I think it is. Here we go. It takes some time to buffer. Okay, let me check. Okay, not yet. Let's refresh this. We should see our little picture really soon. There we go. It worked. What we just did is we did a live stream, okay, from OBS. See, you can hear me. And here, look at that. We've got the file. Last thing we need to try is see our. See, it works. This is actually a live stream. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to broadcast from a command line. Okay, let's refresh this so this goes away. And look, this data, they come in fragments, okay, of TS. So basically all of this is our stream. Okay, so we're going to delete all this so we didn't get our cache stuff. I'm going to show you how to run that on a combined line. Okay, the command for this, you got to install gstreamer, by the way, to get all this stuff working. Okay, so we go gst launch. I have typed in this already. Okay, the source we're going to use is a test source from gstreamer, and the codecs is x264 we're going to use, and we're streaming rtmp, so we need this flash mux. Okay, for those rtmp is actually from Flash. Okay, for ones who don't know that, but it actually comes from Adobe or Macromedia originally, and the option for this is streamable equals true, and we need to create an element for gstreamer which is called rtmp sync. Okay, and the location is our URL. Okay, so once we go enter, okay, it's streaming using gstreamer. Now we go back to this page and we refresh this, we should see the default gstreamer testing screen. Give it some time, because the live stream takes a little bit of time to get on there. Another place we can tell, okay, it's done. Okay, like we get these data, these TS and the M3U8, that means it's streaming. Okay, so now we just need to refresh this. Oh, sorry, my fault. Okay, that has to be JSON to match our front end. Okay, so when you actually do it in production, okay, you can actually do the check here. I'll show you this bit here. You need to do this dynamically, otherwise it won't work. Okay, because that depends on this bit here. Okay, and the reason we need this little slash is the question mark won't be readable if we don't put the slash on. Okay, that's why that is there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to delete all this again. Alright, now this should work now. Okay, now it's pushing from gstreamer to the Nginx server now. Okay, let's see. Look, now we've got that. We have to wait for this to appear, okay, before the thing works. Okay, if we refresh now, we should see our gstreamer. The screen is actually come from gstreamer. Okay, everything works. Alright, it's taken a little bit longer than I thought, but I like to explain it like properly, you know, for everybody to understand this. And the next one, okay, we try to write the command thing in Rust. Then we can do it programmatically, like you know, we can stream from Rust. Then we're going to use the test source for the next part, and the following part we're going to grab a WebM file from the web and broadcast onto the browser. Alright, I hope everybody enjoy this, and for sure I enjoy playing with gstreamer. It's an awesome, really awesome sort of thing, you know, we can work with. And my opinion, if we combine this with WebRTC, we can do a lot of things, you know, like for example, like a conference. If you got like huge numbers of conference, you can actually use the subscribe as RTMP, and you will save a lot of bandwidth that way. Okay, so yeah, so if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. There will be a lot more, you know, this type of content coming really shortly. And consider to be a Patreon and sponsor me so I can do more, you know, this type of video. All right, the code I will put on GitHub, okay, and I'll put the link down below. All right, thanks very much. We'll see you in the next one.